Well, hey, Fusion Community Church, I hope you're having a good morning. You know, we had a beautiful snowfall of a couple inches here where it, nice and wet snow that sticks to the trees. And just driving into the building this morning, just absolutely beautiful to see all the snow. My wife even made the comments like, man, I wish that was like that every day throughout winter because it's just absolutely beautiful. So I hope you're enjoying it. Maybe some of you are out playing in it on snowmobiles or whatever. I know my kids will be out playing with it here shortly as soon as we get home. But I wanted to drop you a line, just kind of give you some updates on where we are as a church in light of everything that's going on. I've had the incredible privilege to get to be the lead pastor here at Fusion for over 10 years now, which is kind of crazy to think. When we started this journey, we didn't have kids yet. Now we have 3 of them, all in elementary school. And so it's just been an incredible ride. In the New Testament, the title of pastor kind of represents, it's defined most literally and specifically as a shepherd with a flock of sheep and giving care over sheep, giving direction. And if I think back over this last year, in light of all that's happened, all the things we never could have predicted, the constant, most consistent prayer in my life as a leader, as a pastor, as a shepherd of a flock is wisdom. God promises to give us wisdom when we seek it. So asking him for wisdom continually throughout, God, give me wisdom. What decision? How do we move? What's the best call? How do we protect people? How do we challenge people? How do we make it safe? But how do we continue to gather? And how do we not get too wrapped up in the methods? And how do we keep the mission of the church central? Even though sometimes the methods have to change. Our methodology has to change, but our missiology always remains the same. And so there's a lot of different ways that can be contextualized at a different time and place throughout history. Right now, we have been confirmed that there have been a few cases over the last couple of weeks, positive COVID cases in our worship gatherings on Sundays. And that's left me to kind of say, you know what, we need to pivot. We need to be a little more intentional and protective of those who are with us. I've heard from some that, that the danger, I think, of COVID is that there are some who have no symptoms and yet are carrying this sickness. And then there's others that say that, it's the worst thing they've ever experienced, sickness-wise. They wouldn't wish it on anybody. Some having, fevers for a couple of weeks that were unable to be brought down, or severely heavy, troubled breathing. And so the reality of it is here, and it's not in our backyard, not in our front yard, it's in our living room now in Schoharie County. And so we're going to make a couple of adjustments this week. I know for some in all of our school districts, different classes, grades have had to quarantine because of positive cases, and just try to be as intentional as possible at reducing the maximum spread of COVID at this time. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make a couple of adjustments starting tomorrow in our worship gathering. One of those is something kind of what we did earlier on this past year, and that is we're still going to have in-person gatherings 8:30, 9:45, and 11. We're not going to open the doors, though, the glass doors, until about 8 to 10 minutes before. So you can just come in, pull in, sit in the parking lot. You might want to grab your coffee on the way here, bring it with you, and just hang out. When the doors open, you're welcome to come in. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to have everybody leave out the side doors, the steel doors. So as soon as the worship gathering's over, we don't want to discourage any opportunity to get to be in each other's lives or talk or communicate with a safe social distance. But we're just going to invite you to kind of head on outside the building and give some time for some cleaning to happen and some sterilization to occur again. So we're gonna do that right at the end of every gathering. And so you can know that. A second thing we're going to do is I'm going to get to be your chief greeter here tomorrow for all 3 services and probably for the foreseeable future. And I hope that you honor me enough that I don't have to wear a police badge and enforce this. But we're asking everybody to wear a mask until you get to your seat. And that applies to the 8:30, 9:45. The 11 o'clock still be all mask all the time. But for our first 2 morning services, we want to just diminish the potential for spread. And so we're going to have face masks and face shields available if you need one right outside here. But I will not be letting anyone in the building without one. That's going to be kind of my commitment to you. And I'm going to ask you to honor me. One of our other family values in accordance to Scripture, we're told to love one another. We're told to put others ahead of ourselves, to be considerate of one another, to think about those who might be weaker than us, elevating them. We're committed to serve one another. We're also given this incredible biblical mandate in Ephesians 5 of mutual voluntary submission. And even the Apostle Paul talks to Timothy about what submission looks like. And I just want to ask you, as your pastor, if you would, just honor me. If you're not a fan of this, we're going to continue to offer the online option. This is not forever. This is for now. This is for the foreseeable future. If you have any issue with this, you're welcome to reach out to me. My email, andrew.fetter@fusioncommunity.church. If you disagree, that's okay. You know, I have been a lead pastor for over 10 years. Not every decision I make is one everybody agrees with. That's part of the task of leadership. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you seeing it differently. But I've been put in the charge of giving account before God of the decisions that I make based on the wisdom I feel He's given me. I could be wrong. But either way, I've been given that call. I've been given that authority, and I'm exercising it in this way. So I'll be here at the glass doors. Not going to let anybody in that isn't willing to submit to the decision that I've made as the lead shepherd. But we will have those masks and those face shields available. I hope you still want to join us in person. If not, I understand. The online offering will be available. And don't forget, tomorrow, we do have some baptisms scheduled. I'm going to be baptizing with a mask on. I'm okay with that. I don't really care what I have to wear in order to baptize somebody into new faith in Jesus Christ, to go public with their faith. We have 5 confirmed tomorrow, at least one in every single one of our worship gatherings, and maybe there's even some that are, don't know God's going to call them forward to put their life in my hands as I dip them under the water. But that's going to be celebrated tomorrow as well. Okay, I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday. Hope you understand my heart and you get my sense of the motive behind this. Is really driven by love and care and concern, but also wanting to keep the doors open for in-person gatherings every Resurrection Sunday, because we have a lot to celebrate in the midst of a challenging time, and we need each other. We need to go before the King together. So whether you join us online, whether you're here in person, I look forward to worshiping with you tomorrow. See you then.